you hear the voices too? Well, the Plague Champion of Naysmith definitely does, and I imagine Dawnselite probably does too, with his Chaos Sorcerer. We're here on Fen Dunlock today, the muddy, swampy plains of Fen Dunlock. Fen Dunlock. Do you know what's cool? So the CH in lock is the exact same sound under phonetic IPA as the H in Russian. How cool is that? Isn't that awesome? But do you know what's really, really not awesome? So I thought, wow, this is great. You know, I'm all for it now that I can do the whole lock and the whole Herson and all that kind of shit. So I started saying Hamas. Well, it turns out that's completely wrong, because in Arabic there's 3 H's. There's the H and the H, and then there's another one which I can't really do, which is more like an exhale, like a H. I don't know, but it's not as guttural as the H. So anyway, the H, if you say Hamas in Hebrew, that means violence. What kind of ironic shit show is this? What's going on here? So I was coming off as a Zionist shill. Oh well. Oh well. Anyway, folks. Yeah, also the J in Spanish for like Rioja is the same sound. I don't know. Anyway, that's a tangent. We're going to be watching a Chaos Mirror, and I guess this is what happens when I watch a Chaos Mirror. It's a little bit chaotic, you know? You never know what you're going to get. Got Doom Bolts flying left, right, and centre. Remember that Doom Bolts, if they land perfectly on a squad of heretics, will just wipe them outright, which is hilarious. So if you know they're capping, or even if you suspect they're capping a point, you shoot them from out of the fog of war, so they've got like no time to react. I mean, they literally have like 1.5 seconds. They'd have to be watching the unit at the time. And if they're not, the heretics just wipe, which is just brilliant. Dawnselite here opting for double CSM, so that's why he kind of was getting pushed back a little bit there in the early game, but you know, now he's got his double CSM out, he should be able to dominate. I think generally the Sorcerer has the better end of the year, the engagements, just because, like I said, those Doom Bolts totally shut down enemy heretic plays. Like, you can't send your heretics in to go into melee as a Plague Champion against the Sorcerer if he hasn't used his Doom Bolts yet and the Sorcerer is nearby. Because as soon as he hits you with the Doom Blast from his heretics, you know you can't dodge the Doom Bolts anymore, so you got to retreat as soon as they come flying your way. And then you've lost your heretics for no real value. You might have killed 1 or 2 of their heretics, and you've lost those yourself. Very weird though for Dawnselite to be going for GL ticks. I don't really understand that. It's almost like he anticipated the Havocs, but then that's strange because he's already got the Vestments of the Warp, so he already has the counter to the Havocs. Why not just double up on that, get the Flame Sword, go for some Raptors, and just fuck up the heretics in melee with Coruscating Flame on your Raptors to make them do AoE splash damage. I don't know if you're realising, guys, but I generally think the Chaos Sorcerer is way better than the Plague Champion in this matchup. The CL has some cool things going about him. Certainly if you don't go double CSM, it can be quite challenging to deal with the CL early on because you just don't have enough ranged firepower. But even if you go double CSM, then the CL can just overwhelm you with double Aspiring Champion Heretics, Noise Marines, and the CL charging into your lines. Then in tier 2, when he gets the Movement Worship, it's also just really powerful. It kind of negates your vehicle play if he's got Khorne Worship Plague Marines. But with the white potential of the Chaos Sorcerer, with the Doom Bolts, the Coruscating Flame, the Dark Flame Global, I think the Sorcerer always has the ability to win a Chaos Mirror. Probably the best Chaos hero in the Chaos Mirror. And Dawnselite went for the grenade launchers, I guess, because he has 2 heretics, so the other one he's got an Aspiring Champion on, and so far he's kind of dominating Naysmith, to be honest. Definitely got the better hand in terms of the map control. Naysmith is trying to contest, he's got his own AC ticks down here, decapping the natural of Dawns. Dawns is moving around in quite a bit of a blob. I think these heretics could do well to just cap this wreck point. I don't think they're going to contribute too much to the battle right now, given they only have 3 models. It's also pretty risky, and he's just moving around in a big blob. He should have seen that his natural is getting, well, has got decapped, and now he can see that this natural requisition is also being decapped, and this poses a threat to these guys if they need to retreat. Yes, he wants to keep them in play in order to disrupt the havoc, but I don't... It's not needed. You've got a teleporting sorcerer. I don't understand. And again, I think the heretics here could have gone and decapped the VP. It's just... It's a little bit blobby. A little bit too blobby with a play here, I think. Now we got some counter grenade launcher fire coming in here from Naysmith. And can we get the wipe? Come on. Come on, Naysmith. You've got this, buddy. The heretics. No, they're going down this way. No, no! He completely fucked it up. He chased the sorcerer, realised he missed them, and because he chased the sorcerer, he was in the incorrect position to actually hit the fucking heretic. And that heretic deserved to die, man. Dawnselite running him around with 3 models for so long on the enemy side of the territory with really no good reason to be doing that. He deserved to lose the ticks. But he's not going to lose them today. In fact, Dawnselite is the one who's going to be going tier 2. Though he doesn't have a tremendous lead. Naysmith only 13 or so power away from getting to tier 2 himself. Do we have any upgrades on the PC? We don't. No upgrades in the CSM yet either, no Eternal War, you can tell because of the lack of a plus sign above their heads of the decorator. Naysmith not fully replaced all of his gens. Probably wants to drop another one down. Then again, Chaos Tier 2, very requisition intensive. It's not uncommon to want to go for Bloodletters and Plague Champions. Plague Champions? Plague Marines. Doombolt over here on the Doom Blast. Nope. And now he missed that. Why would you not go for the Doombolt? It's not really a good use of the Chaos Sorcerer's time, especially when he's got the teleportation armor to just be meleeing heretics. His default sword doesn't really do very good damage. Oh, he can probably kill this though now by teleporting after it. I mean, that's on Naysmith. He didn't go for it. Oh my god. Dawnselite, he had 25 HP. With the retreat modifier making you do 30% more damage with melee attacks, that definitely would have killed. Would have had one of those sweet sync kills where the sorcerer lifts them up with the blue lightning and flings them. But he's denying us it. He's teasing us. He's edging us. Dawnselite, stop edging us. Get to the action, lad. Leakers. Yeah, this is what Chaos does, guys. This is what Chaos does. So both players are tier 2 now, but what are they doing with it? I've actually just realised Naysmith is building his 3rd gen again, but he's building it over here this time, not on this side. And I do feel like Naysmith is always behind on the map control, but it's funny, in spite of feeling that, he's not behind on the VPs. He is a good 40 VPs up here. I guess that's because Dawnselite's doing so much blobbing. Definitely think he is over blobbing. Okay, Eternal War now here on the CSM. You can also tell, by the way, with the glowing red around the guns, not just the plus icon. It's going to be doggos for both of the players. Corn doggos. Big corn doggos, I guess. You could call flesh hounds corn doggos. They're not in this game, but they're the little corn doggos, and these are the big ones. Big ones. I feel like this Bloodletter model's actually kind of huge as well, isn't he? Now that I realise it. Surely the normal Bloodletters aren't this big, are they? I don't think so. So over there, that's the Plague Champion in melee with the CSM. Not a great position for him, when he's only got his default bolter. Quite a juicy blob here for some Doombolts, man. Oh no, he starts his Doombolts then cancels it. Oh, for fuck's sake, he really is edging us. I want to see some juicy Doombolts, man. God. The AC Ticks there getting into melee with the Geoticks. Geoticks forced to pull back. Double Blood Crusher? Is that intentional? It's totally legit. It's totally legit. You just overwhelm your opponent's AV with the quantity of them. Honestly, you can go for like triple Blood Crushers, to be honest. Now we would expect the... Oh, I was going to say we would expect Plague Marines, but yeah, I guess Naysmith already had the Havocs from Tier 1, so he's just going to keep them with the Last Cannon. And he's also getting the Plague Fist, which will be decent. Mostly as a defensive tool. Remember, Blood Crushers don't actually get melee resist. Oh, this Blood Crusher's dead. Warp Global? No, dead. Well, that was poor. He could have just teleported it out with the Warp Global. I don't know why the Sorcerer took so long to get over there when the Sorcerer's got the teleportation armor. He doesn't appear to be using his teleport at all. Just get used to the hotkey. Well, take two. CSM, they've gone for the Mark of Zinch now. Looks like the Geotics of Naysmith died. That's a terrible touch of Nurgle, because there's only one fucking heretic, so they can't keep healing. Oh my god. He just loses his aspiring champion ticks. Yeah, he's gonna get a model from it. Maybe another one on this squad? Nope, doesn't go for the fist. Oh well. Oh my god, Naysmith lost his Blood Crusher to Dawnselite's Blood Crusher as well. Wow, what the fuck? Naysmith really not paying attention right now. I mean, I didn't watch it because I assumed he would just walk it back to the base. It's only, like, how does a Blood Crusher kill another Blood Crusher? It would take forever, just charge away from it. Into worship, big deal, but he somehow lost it. He obviously didn't do that, which is kind of crazy. Markazin's trying to do something over here. Oh wow, special attack there. Oh, he potentially suicides it? Okay. I mean, suicide was a bad use of the term. Why, is the plasma pistol gonna kill this bloody thing? Dude. Dude, that was close. 2 more plasma pistols probably would have killed that Blood Crusher. I didn't realise plasma pistol was that good against vehicles. Well, there's a bigger vehicle to contend with right now. For Dawnselite anyway. And Dawnselite doesn't have any real AV, does he? Oh no, what am I talking about? He's got a Chaos Dreadnought as well. These guys are really mirroring one another, aren't they? Okay. And he did manage to keep the Blood Crusher alive. So the combination of the Blood Crusher plus the Dreadnought will be pretty powerful. Of course, you can tie up the autocannon on the Chaos Dreadnought here with your Blood Crusher whilst you shoot at it with the Chaos Dreadnought. And again, this is another thing that the Sorcerer's got a big advantage on, because he can just teleport his Dreadnought out of bad situations. You don't have that privilege as the Plague Champion. At least if the Plague Champion is worshipping, he can heal both the Dreadnought and the Blood Crusher simultaneously, but even then, it's only a 3.5 second HP per second heal rather than the 10 HP per second that the Blood Crusher gets. And you can see, with 1000 HP on a Dreadnought, 3.5 HP per second is not going to take you very far. I find it a bit odd that Dawnselite hasn't opted for the Flame Sword, given that he's been in melee so often with his Chaos Sorcerer. He's been using him quite aggressively in melee. It's not a very expensive upgrade, so I find it very strange. Great, PC here is rather isolated, needs to be very careful. Yeah, everyone's just trying to gangbang him. It's a good job he retreated as soon as he did, even if he took a trickle of ranged fire from the Zinchka Space Marines without retreating, he would have died. He goes down anyway! Oh my god. Okay, now we're going to need a warp from the Chaos Sorcerer onto the Blood Crusher. Okay, it's going to go down, there's no warp. I don't know how familiar Dawnselite is with the with the Sorcerer. He's not really using the globals. Dark Flames would have been great here to help dislodge the Havoc. Very lucky there, he gets a beautiful special, yeeting the las cannon model forward, and now some duos going in. Gonna hurt these heretics. The Dreadnought here in melee, stopping the other one firing. He's gonna kill it, isn't he? This is great. He's already got rid of the heretics. Sorcerer is tying up this thing. Now retreat. Retreat your Sorcerer, walk the Dreadnought over here, and you can teleport the Dreadnought back to the Sorcerer, no problem. I don't know how effective this is as a line of sight blocker. 2 more shots. Dude, just teleport it with your Sorcerer. Yikes. Miss micro over here. It looks like Naysmith forced off the heretics around this VP, but forgot about them, and now he runs them into the base, unfortunately. What can you do? What can you do, boys? It is Sloppy Saturdays. This is what you have come to expect, and hopefully what you've come to love. Listen, if you think you can do better, get your ass into Dawn of War 2, play some games, and submit them in the Discord. Simples. You'll get casted on Saturdays too. No problem. Okay, Naysmith going to be replacing his heretics. He will need them in order to repair his Dreadnought. Well, not really. You could just replace his PC. Surely that would be a lot better. Heretics are 200 requisition. The PC would be 250 to get him back, but the PC isn't the weakest unit in the game because he's got a power fist. So, I don't know about that. It's not like he really needs the worship support for anything. He did get an AC straight away on those ticks, and he's just going to use them to fight over the contested, it appears. He likes that. I mean, I can appreciate that. It wouldn't be great using the Plague Champion down that side on his own. Plague Champion's so slow. And he is a powerful asset that you want in your primary army versus army fights. Now, if you get scenarios where there are 2 ticks fighting off in the corner over this node, then that would be a great opportunity to use Touch of Nurgle, because of course that would decisively win the engagement for your Plague Champion heretics. And what you should always do with Touch of Nurgle anyway... God, look at the splash damage. What you should always do with the Touch of Nurgle anyway is you bait the enemy in so that he thinks he's going to win the fight, so that he commits really hard, and then you activate Touch of Nurgle and do your Doom Blast and send them flying and do a load of spike damage, and then you're all good. Problematic right now for Dawnselite. He went for the Mark of Tzeentch, which actually loses the one-on-one duel against the Chaos Dreadnought purely because the Chaos Dreadnought simply charges at it in melee, and the Mark of Tzeentch has no melee resist, whereas the default Chaos Dreadnought actually has 20%. So the default Chaos Dreadnought then makes up the extra damage that you did with the missile launcher by just beating you in melee. So if you're going to use the Mark of Tzeentch Dreadnought, the whole point of it is that it has superior ranged anti-vehicle, but you need a way to deter the enemy from just charging into melee. So you need Plague Marines nearby to snare him, or to do supplemental anti-vehicle damage. You need some sort of heavy melee threat, like a Plague Champion with a Power Fist, like Terminators with a Power Fist in Tier 3, or a Las Cannon Havoc to bait the enemy Dreadnought into. And the beautiful thing is, if you're playing as the Chaos Sorcerer, you can move your Las Cannon setup team around using Sigil of the Rift to teleport it forward, and it doesn't even de-set up. So you can chase walkers that way, or you can ambush them. And then you can use the Warp Global to teleport them again. A subsequent time. Again, not de-setting up the setup team. Is that not great? But Dawnselite, unfortunately, is not really using these tools. And the really hilarious thing was how he actually tried to warp this one out, but he did it too late, so it died anyway. Didums, didums, didums. So what's the plan? The plan for Naysmith is to go tier 3. Dawnselite using the mobility here of his sorcerer to get a bit of capping done, but I don't think he can even fight those CSM. Again, certainly not without a melee weapon upgrade. I'm not really sure what these heretics were doing there. I don't know why they didn't have Touch of Nurgle, and it looks like there is going to be a Noxious Cloud dropped down. This could be brutal. Plague Champion getting into melee with a Tzeentch Havoc. That is going to de-set it up. It's got to retreat out of there, and with the Noxious Cloud, might be able to wipe the heretics here. They're down to 1 model, 1 Plague Fist. Into the arse. We'll kill it. Do it! He missed macros. Oh dear. The cloud. The cloud. Oh my god, the cloud dissipates with the GL Ticks having 12 HP. Literally 1 more proc damage would have wiped the GL Ticks. We've been edged all around, guys. Edged all around. Oh, but Dawnselite calls the GG. Frustrated that he didn't manage to kill the Chaos Dreadnought. I think he still had some play in him there. He's going tier 3 as well, and he's got a load of red. Just go tier 3, use your nuke. Use your nuke in tier 3. You never know what's going to happen when you use a nuke. But yeah, clearly frustrated that he couldn't kill the Dreadnought there. Really quite a scrappy little match, to be fair. Yeah, I don't know, mistakes all around from both players, and it ended up being fairly even because of the mistakes on each side. Pretty cool to see a Chaos Mirror. You know, I'd really like to see a high-level Chaos Mirror. I feel like that's a mirror that we've not seen in a very long time. If you guys send me a high-level Chaos Mirror, you will get that one casted with priority, I can assure you. But anyway, folks, that's going to be all for this Saturday. It's your boy Torpid, signing out.